And so, my friends, it's with the words of Matovu, our prayer of sanctuary, our prayer of community, that I welcome you into our sanctuary this Shabbat morning to join together as a community as we celebrate Shabbat, as we celebrate with a young man and his family as he becomes a bar mitzvah, as we take the opportunity to celebrate a number of other events and milestones in our communal life. Whether you came here to celebrate these celebrations, or whether you came here to remember a loved one, or just simply came here to share Shabbat, we welcome you all. Those in this sanctuary, as well as those joining us through the live streaming of our services through TBI TV. This Shabbat, as well as being Shabbat Tazria, is also known as Shabbat HaGadol, the Great Shabbat, or the Awesome Shabbat. In the message, the email that I sent out to the congregation this week, I explained that there are a number of reasons why it is called Shabbat HaGadol, each as unsatisfying as the one before it. But the one that has seemed to have lingered the longest is because it is renowned for having the longest sermon of the year, because it is the Shabbat before Pesach, where all the rules and regulations, observances and obligations are outlined for the congregation. I assure you that I will not be giving the longest sermon of the year, but I can make no promises as to what our bar mitzvah boy is going to do. I do want to make a mention, particularly for those of you who are regulars here at TBI, that this morning is also a significant occasion in the life of our congregation, which is not being celebrated in our main sanctuary, but rather in the Friedlander Beit Midrash, as Gesher, one of our alternative minyanim. There was a time it was our only alternative minyan, is celebrating its 20th anniversary. And if I disappear off the bimah for a moment or two during the service, it's simply because they've the group of lay leaders who are leading Gesher have given me the honor of an Aliyah Torah in their service today as one of the founders. I had the privilege with some friends of founding Gesher just when I was left Netzer 20 years ago. And so I'm going to pop back in there hopefully through our service. But that's enough of explanation. That's enough of where it is that we're going. All is set, all is done. We began, as I said, with the words of Matovu on page 192. We're going to continue on page 194 with our prayer for health in just a few moments. But before we do that, I would like to invite our very excited, he's almost prone, ready to jump up onto the bimah, with a little limp because he had an accident earlier in the week, our bar mitzvah, together with his parents, onto the bimah for the presentation of his talit.
Jesse, it's amazing that we're here for your bar mitzvah today. We adore the boy that you've been and the man that you're now becoming.
Jesse, mazel tov on your bar mitzvah. We love you so much. We want to thank you for always being so full of life and for bringing so much joy to our home.
Amen. Mazel tov. Continue on page 194 with Asher Yatzar, our prayer for health. Please join Jesse and I in the Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yatza et ha'adam b'chokhmah, uvara bo nekavim nekavim, chalulim chalulim, galui v'yadua lifnei kiseh kvodecha, שאם יפתח אחד מהם או יסתם אחד מהם, אי אפשר להתקיים לעמוד לפניך. ברוך אתה אדוני, רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות.
אלוהי, נשמה שנתת בי טהורה היא, אתה בראת, אתה יצרת, אתה נפחת בי, ואתה משמרה בקרבי, כל זמן שהנשמה בקרבי, מודה אני לפניך, אדוני אלוהי ואלוהי אבותי, מודה אני לפניך, אדוני אלוהי ואלוהי אבותי, ריבון כל המעשים, אדון כל הנשמות, ברוך אתה אדוני, אשר בידו נפש כל חי, ברוח כל בשר איש.
On page 198, I'll be reading this hymn before Yom responsively. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lesichvi vina levchin ben yom uven laila.
Amen. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim.
Amen. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim.
Amen. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kefufim.
Amen. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rokeh haaretz al hamayim.
Amen. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam המכין מצעדי גבר.
Amen. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם הנותן ליעד כוח.
Amen. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavir shena ma'anai utnuma ma'apai.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשני בצלם אלוהים.
Amen. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shasani ben chorim.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שעשני ישראל.
Amen. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer Yisrael b'gvura.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם עוטר ישראל בתפארה.
Baruch Ata Adonai
אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו לעסוק בדברי תורה.
אמן. הרב נא אדוני אלוהינו את דברי תורתך בפינו, ופי עמך בית ישראל, בני אנחנו וצאצאינו וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל, כולם יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה. ברוך אתה אדוני, המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל. Bless the eternal one who teaches Torah to your people Israel. We turn forward to page 206 and continue with the words of the Talmud, the words that come to us from the tractate Shabbat that teach us Elu Devarim She'ein Lahem Shur, that these are the obligations without measure.
אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, ואלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, גיבור אבהם וגמילות חסדים והשכמת בית המדרש תחרית וערבית. אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, אלו דברים שאין להם שיעור, בהכנסת אורחים וביקור חולים, בהכנסת כלה
of tzedakah, each one higher than the one before. To give grudgingly, reluctantly, or with regret. To give less than one should, but with grace. To give what one should, but only after being asked. To give before one is asked. To give without knowing who will receive it, although the recipient knows the identity of the giver. To give without making known one's identity. To give so that neither giver nor receiver knows the identity of the other. To help another become self-supporting by means of a gift, a loan, or by finding employment for the one in need.
Moving forward from our study of Torah, which is the last part of our Brachot HaShachar, we turn to page 212 as we continue with our Sukkei Zimra, our verses of song and psalm.
Baruch she'amar v'haya ha'olam, Baruch hu, Baruch ozeh v'reishit, Baruch omer ve'oseh, Baruch gozer u'mekayem, Baruch merachem al haaretz, Baruch merachem al habriot, Baruch mejalem zachar tov lireah, Baruch chai la'ad, v'kayam lanetzach, Baruch bodeh u'matzil, Baruch Shemo.
With songs of praise we exalt you and proclaim your sovereignty. For you are the source of life in the universe. One God, life of the universe, praised and glorious ruler, your name is eternal. Baruch atah Adonai,
melech mahulal batishbachot. Blessed are you, Eternal One, Sovereign, who is glorified through praise.
Page 214, Psalm number.
מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, לאמונתך בלילות, עלי עשור עליך, ועלי היגיון בחינות. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. כי שימחתני אדוני בפועלך, במעשה ידיך רנן. מה גדול מעשיך אדוני, מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך. איש בהר לא ידע, ובשיא לא יבין את זאת. מזמור שיר ליום השבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. צדיק אתה,
יושבי ביתך, עוד יהללוך סלע.
אשרי העם שככה לו, אשרי העם שאדוני אלוהיו.
תהילה לדוד, ממך אלוהי המלך, ברכה שמך לעולם ועד.
בכל יום אברכך, והללה שמך לעולם ועד.
גדול אדוני מהולל מאוד, ולגדולתו אין חקר.
דור לדור ישבח מעשיך, וגבורתך יכירו.
הדר כבוד הודיך, ודברי נפלותיך עשיך.
ועזוז נורתך יאמרו, וגדולתך אספרנה.
זכר רב טובך יביאו, וצדקתך ירננו.
חנון ורחום אדוני, ערך אפיים וגדל חסד.
טוב אדוני לכל, ורחמיו על כל מעשיו.
יודוך אדוני כל מעשיך, וחסידיך יברכוך.
כבוד מלכותך יאמרו, וגבורתך ידברו.
להודיע לבני אדם גבורותיו, וכבוד אדם מלכות כהו.
מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור.
סומך אדוני לכל הנופלים, ותוקף לכל הכפופים.
עיני כל עליך ישברו, ואתה נותן להם את אוכלם בעיתו.
פותח את ידיך, ומצביע לכל חי רצון.
צדיק אדוני בכל דרכיו, וחסיד בכל מעשיו.
קרוב אדוני לכל קוראיו, לכל אשר יקראוהו באמת.
רצון יראיו יעשה, ואת שבתם ישמע ויושיעם.
שומר אדוני את כל אוהביו, ואת כל הרשעים ישמיע.
תהילת אדוני ידבר פי, ויברך כל בשר שם קודשו לעולם ועד.
ואנחנו נברכיה, מעתה ועד עולם, הללויה.
Hallelujah. Even older brothers can help on your bar mitzvah. We continue with Psalm 150 on page 280.
הללו אל מקודשו, הללו ברקיע עוזו, הללויה. הללו בגבורותיו, הללו כרוב גודלו, הללויה. הללויה, הללויה, הללויה.
You shall always be praised, great and holy God, our sovereign in heaven and on earth. Songs of praise and songs of adoration become you, acknowledging your might and your dominion. Yours are strength and sovereignty, sanctity, grandeur, and glory always. We offer our devotion, open our hearts in acclamation.
Baruch atah Adonai, El Melech Gadol v'tishbachot, El Haodot, Adon HaNivlaot, הבוחר בשירי זמרה, מלך אל כעולמי.
Amen. On page 224, we rise for the Chatzi Kaddish in advance of the call to prayer.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא נברא חירותי והבליך מלכותי, בחיי חון ובימי חון ובחיי לכל בית ישראל, בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב וגמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם עולם ועד מיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתבר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי לקודשה בריחו לאילן מן קל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירת בעלמה, ויאמרו אמן. ברכו את אדוני המבורך, ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד.
Please be seated. We turn forward to page 228 and continue with the Yotze Or together in Hebrew. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotze Or uvarei choshech, Oseh shalom uvarei et hakol, Ha'me'ir la'aretz l'darim maleha berachamim, Uvtovo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reishit, Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, Kulam b'chochma asita, Malha ha'aretz kinyanecha, תתברך אדוני אלוהינו על שבח מעשה ידיך ועל מאורעו שעשית יפארו חסלה, אור חדש על ציון תאיר, ונזכה כולנו מהרה לאורו. ברוך אתה אדוני יוצא המאורות. Blessed you eternal one, creator of the heavenly lights.
Love your neighbor as yourself, you said, and like blinded we saw, that inner and outer worlds are one, as you are one. You spoke and we wrote. We reached for you down the centuries, your light moving before us. As we climbed, fell back and climbed again, your Sinai of life.
Baruch atah Adonai, habocher ba'amo Yisrael ba'ahava.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושינת לבן לבניך, ודיברת בם בשתך, ולכתך בדרך, ושכבך ומקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל, ואמרת עליהם, ועשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם, ונתנו על ציצית כנף בתרתי תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו, וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטו אחרי לבבכם, אחרי עיניכם, אשר הייתם זונים אחריהם, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קודשים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
The eternal truth is that you alone are God and there is none else. May the righteous of all nations rejoice in your love and exult in your justice. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Let nation not lift up sword against nation, nor learn war anymore. You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart. The stranger that lives among you shall be accepted as your equal, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor? Ask God. We know that the Eternal One defends the poor and upholds the rights of the needy. Praise to God Most High. Blessed is God and deserving of blessing.
We offer the blessings with the words of Micha Mochar on the top of page 240.
Micha Mochar Ma'elim Adonai, Micha Mochar Nehedar B'Kodesh, Nora Tehilot Osef Eleh, Shira Chadasha, Shibchu Geolim לשמך, על שפת הים יחד כולם, הודו והמליכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
That, of course, was our song of freedom set to the tune of the Pesach Seder. We rise on the bottom of page 240 to the words of Tzur Yisrael.
צור ישראל, קומה בעזרת ישראל, עובדי חינומך, יהודה וישראל. גואלנו, אדוני צבאות שמו, קדוש ישראל. ברוך אתה אדוני, גר ישראל.
The Amidah begins on page 242.
Adonai sevaday titach, uvi yagid teilatecha. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע. משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מזריח השמש ומוריד הטל. מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה מתים ברחמים רבים, צומח נובלים ורופא חולים ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומידו מלך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישוע, ונאמן אתה להחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה המתים. נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וכרזה אל זה ואמר, קדוש 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני, אדוננו מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני יתקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמה לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהים ציון לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד עוד לך, ולנצח נצחים גירושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. We continue with Kedushat Hayom, the sanctification of this day of Shabbat, and the singing of Yismachu on the top of page 250.
ישמחו בברכותיך, שומרי 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 שבת ציפורי עונג שבת. ישמחו בברכותיך, שומרי 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 שבת ציפורי עונג שבת. עם מקדשי מקדשי שבי שבת. למעשי בראשית שבת, ישמחו למען לך, שומרי 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 שבת בקורא עולי שבת, ישמחו למען לך, שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עולי שבת.
We offer thanks, O God, for this Shabbat which unites us in faith and hope. For Shabbat holiness which inspires sacred living. For Shabbat memories glowing even in darkness. For Shabbat peace born of friendship and love. We offer thanks and blessings, O God, Baruch Ata Adonai, Makadesh HaShabbat. Ever-present One, may we, your people, be worthy in our deeds and our prayers. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you in this land, in Zion restored, and in all lands, you are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch Ata Adonai, Shalcha Levacha Be'iran Avod. Blessed are you, Eternal One, who is worthy of praise. On page 257, the Hoda'ah.
For the expanding grandeur of creation, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations.
מודים אנחנו לך.
For this fragile planet Earth, its times and its tides, in sunsets and in seasons.
Modim anachnu lach.
For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and achievements.
מודים אנחנו לך.
For the human community, our common past and future hope, our oneness transcending all separation, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility and oppression.
מודים אנחנו לך.
For high hopes and noble causes, for faith without fanaticism, for understanding of views not shared.
מודים אנחנו לך.
For all who have laboured and suffered for a fairer world, who have lived so that others might live in dignity and freedom.
מודים אנחנו לך.
For human liberties and sacred rights, for opportunities to change and grow, to affirm and choose.
מודים אנחנו לך.
We pray that we may live not by our fears but by our hopes, not by our words but by our deeds.
Baruch Ata Adonai, Hatov Shimcha Ulechan Na'eleh Udot. Blessed are you, Eternal One. Your name is goodness and you are worthy of thanksgiving.
Now the words of Sim Shalom on the top of page 258.
Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha. Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha. Sim Shalom Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha. Chen v'chesed, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Chen v'chesed, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. V'rachamim Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha. Sim Shalom Tova Uvracha. Sim Shalom Hallelujah. Israel Bashalom.
Pause for a few moments of Tefillat Halev, prayer of the heart.
לרצון עם רעיפי, והגיון ליבי לפניך. Adonai tzuri v'goali. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, O God, my rock and my refuge. Oseh shalom b'mromav, uyazeh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, uyazeh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael.
Ve'al kol b'nei Adam. We turn forward to page 362, 362 for Seder Kriyat Torah Shabbat, the order of reading Torah on this Shabbat day. We are reminded of the words from the Proverbs that tell us, happy is the one who finds wisdom, the one who gains understanding. For its value is greater than silver, its yield than fine gold. It is more precious than rubies. No treasure can match it.
Ein kamocha ba'Elohim Adonai, ve'gema'azecha, malchutecha malchut kol olamin, u'memshaltecha bechol dor va'ador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai od le'amo yiten, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Avarachamim eitiv avintonecha et Zion. Tibnei chomot Yerushalayim, tibnei chomot Yerushalayim. Ki v'chad levad patachnu, melech el rab v'nisa Adon olamim. Vayehi b'Aharon, vayomer Moshe, Tova Adonai, ve'yavutzu oivecha, ve'yanutzu mesanecha mitpanecha. Ki mitzion
Anochi Adonai Elohecha, Asher hotziticha me'eretz Mitzrayim, mibeit avadim. I am your eternal God, who led you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Lo hieh lechem Elohim acharim al pnai. You shall have no other gods besides me. Lo tisa et shem Adonai Elohecha lashav. You shall not swear falsely by the name of Adonai your God. Zachor et yom haShabbat lekadsho. Remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. Kabed et avicha ve'et imecha. Honor your father and your mother. Lo tirtzach. You shall not murder. Lo tin'ach. You shall not commit adultery. Lo tignov. You shall not steal. Lo ta'aneh v'reacha ad shaker. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. Lo tachmod. You shall not covet.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adoneinu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadol Adonai Iti, ונרממה כמו יחדיו. לך אדוני הגדולה והגבורה והתפארת והנצח וההוד. יפול בשמיים, בשמיים ובארץ. לך אדוני הממלכה והעמית נעשה לכל לראש. לך אדוני הגדולה והגבורה והתפארת והנצח וההוד. יפול בשמיים, בשמיים ובארץ. לך אדוני הממלכה והעמית נעשה לכל לראש. רוממו, רוממו, אדוני אלוהינו, וישתחוו, וישתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו, רוממו, אדוני אלוהינו, וישתחוו, וישתחוו להר קודשו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו. שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. Please be seated. Now normally we would begin with a drush in the middle of our service, but today Jesse's going to just share a few words with us.
As Kent Alum has already noted, I'm not going to be speaking about my Torah portion today, but rather focus on my Haftarah. That being said, as Rabbi Lazaro has had to pop out for a few moments to accept an Aliyah Torah in the Gesher service, I wanted you to still have this reading introduced in some way, other than me just simply saying that it's gross, which it is. So for those of you who are less familiar with Parashat Betzorah, here were the 3 key themes. They might also show you why I'm not overly interested in talking about them. First, purifying people with leprosy. Second, how to purify their house. Third, my personal favourite, how a male is impure when a discharge is released from his genitalia, and how to purify himself. If you'd like more detail, Gersha suggested that you might want to follow along in the Plat Chumash on page 146, line 1, word 1.
That would be page 846. And in the right-hand column, nothing like having your bar mitzvah mocking your cantor on the bima. Excellent. So we are on page 846, and for the first aliyah, we would like to invite to come to Torah Tom and Jenny and Elliot for this first aliyah. יעמדו מנדל בן חיים ושושנה ויהודית בת חיים וליביה ואליהו בן עזריאל ותחיה עידה ראשונים לעלייה לתורה. So as we said, we are on page 846, right-hand column, at the very beginning of that right-hand column. Let me just point to where we begin. Baruch Adonai Merach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam. Amen. Amen. וידבר אדוני אל משה ואל אהרון לאמור כי תבואו אל ארץ כנען אשר אני נותן לכם לאחוזה ונתתי נגע צרד בבית ארץ אחוזתכם ובאשר לו הבית ויגיד לכהן לאמור כנגע נראה לי לבית וציווה הכהן ובנו את הבית בטרם יבוא הכהן לראות את הנגע ולא יטמא כל אשר בבית ואחר כן יבוא הכהן לראות את הבית. Amen. Mishvarach Avotenu Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. May God who blessed our ancestors bless you both, or all 3. I'm going to start with them because it's their anniversary. I'm not sure that the threesome quite works just yet. But I will explain. Obviously, Gersh would have loved to be here for this anniversary, but there is an old saying, with one tuchas you can't dance at 2 chasanas. Now, for those of you who don't know the Yiddish, it means with one bottom you can't actually dance at 2 weddings. Great Yiddish saying, but that being said, we are here to celebrate your 47th wedding anniversary, as well as your 21st birthday. Remarkable how that math works, isn't it? Just excellent, looking fantastic. What an amazing thing to be married 47 years. I must say, from my vaunted perspective of a couple of years, I am in awe of 47 years of marriage. Although the Asian couple, I don't know if I've told you about this, this is one of my favorite stories. There was an Asian couple who were married as young babies, and they lived both over 100 years, and they were asked, so they were married over 100 years, and they were asked, what is the secret to your 100 years of marriage? They said, you know, the first 50 years, those are the hardest. Almost there. And Elliot, 21 today, 21 today. Literally. Literally? When's the birthday?
7th of April.
7th of April. Close. Close. May this be one of many opportunities you have to celebrate with this community, with Torah, with your family, extended family, and with people who set such wonderful models before you. May this be one of many opportunities to celebrate. And we say, Amen. Amen. For our second aliyah, we invite Sharon to come to Torah. Yamot, Ta'amot, Sharon bat Benjamin ve'Hava, Shniya l'aliyah l'Torah.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'chabanu mechol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. There's a lot of very, very similar sections. Here we go. Amen. וציווה הכהן ובנו את הבית בטרם יבוא הכהן לראות את הנגע ולא יטמא כל אשר בבית, ואחר כן יבוא הכהן לראות את הבית וראה את הנגע, והנה הנגע בקריית הבית שקררות ירקרקות או אדמת מות, ומראיהן שבל מן הקיר, ויצא הכהן מן הבית אל פתח הבית, והסגיר את הבית 7 ימים.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת, וחיה לנו ואתה בתוכו. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Sharon, where do I begin? Mishabarach Avotenu Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Ben Eliyah. May God who bless our ancestors bless you as you come today to Torah, in honor of Torah, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of this bar mitzvah, and in honor, actually, I believe you were honored also at one of the other bar mitzvahs a few years ago, and you also worked with Karen in the past. It is a remarkable thing to receive an AO. So for those of you who are not aware, Sharon has more than 25 years as a career dedicated to HIV and infectious disease. Just so you know, it's very apropos to this week's Torah portion. It's very apropos. It's not actually leprosy, it's mistranslated as leprosy. We don't actually know what it is, and it's a disease that afflicts people as well as walls and buildings. And the section we just read was about how the disease can actually infect with some kind of mold or mildew with different colors inside the walls. So if you get a cure for that, we'll have cured this. That's fantastic. So it's also connected to this concept of motzei shem ra. So the idea of metzorah is a disease that is often caused by speaking ill of others. So that's interesting because HIV and the connection with this disease was one which caused terrible trauma. And the curing and the dealing with HIV is one of the pillars of the work that you have done over the years, going from a terminal, fatal, inevitably fatal disease to something that is completely manageable and which, my understanding is, it no longer impacts life expectancy, longevity. Is that correct? What a well-deserved AO. May this be one of many opportunities we have to celebrate. Perhaps moving on to other diseases, goodness knows what your next disease that you'll find a cure for or a way of mitigating. May this be one of many opportunities that you have celebrate with this community. And we say Amen and truly Mazal Tov. For our third Aliyah, we invite Hermie to lane for us, and for this third Aliyah, we move from celebration to a moment of memory. And if you are here at a time of Shiva Shloshim or the Yartzeit of a loved one, then this Aliyah is for you. Please come forward at this time. You will find us at Leviticus 14:39 and onwards, which is on page 846. Let me just find it for you. 39 and onwards, which is left-hand column, top line, last word. So. Let me just find it for you. Okay, and we'll just. Baruch Adonai mevarach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai mevarach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'chapanu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. V'shav ha'kohen b'yom hashvi'i v'ra'ah v'hinei hasa ha'nega v'kirot ha'bayim v'tiva ha'kohen v'kiltu et ha'avanim asher b'hen ananah v'yishukuu eten el mikuz la'ir el makom tameh ve'et habayit yakzir mibayit savir v'shavku et ha'afa asher hikzu el mikuz la'ir el makom tameh V'achu avanim akarot ve'heviu el takat ha'avanim ve'afaker yikach v'tah et
Emayit. All of the is key in the blessing after the Torah. Amen. Mishibarach Avotenu Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, Leah. May God, who blessed our ancestors, bless you both as you come to Torah in honor of Shabbat, in honor of Torah, in honor of Bar Mitzvah, but most importantly, in honor of memory. And we take a moment to think of loved ones no longer with us, especially at a time such as Pesach, when we're very aware of their absence. May their memories truly be for a blessing, and may you always cherish those memories. And may they inspire you and continue to be meaningful for you in the years to come, as they are very present in your lives, if not physically, then certainly in every other meaningful way. May this be one of many opportunities to remember them and to cherish those memories. And we say, Amen. And so unusually we do continue right on to our fourth Aliyah. And this Shabbat, our fourth Aliyah will be read by Zach. So we'll invite Zach to join us here on the Tevam. And in addition,
We'll swap sides.
for this Aliyah, we invite Richard and Lizzie and Marcus and Emmett to come to Torah. Yamdu Moshe Yehuda ben Yaakov Shmuel Halevi Begila Chaya ve'Eliza bat Avraham ve'Sara ve'Aryeh ben Mishe Yehuda ve'Eliza ve'Sara bat Moshe Yehuda ve'Eliza Revi'im la'Aliyah laTorah. Now, Zach, you're going to open the Torah and just point to where you're beginning. Thank you. Baruch Adonai mevarach leolam va'ed. Amen.
ואם ישוב הנגע ופרח בבית, אחר חילץ את האבנים, ואחרי הקצות את הבית, ואחרי התוח, ובא הכהן, וראה והנה פשע הנגע בבית, זרעת ממארת הוא בבית, טמא הוא, ונתץ את הבית, את אבניו ואת עציו, ואת כל עפר הבית, והוציא אל מחוץ לעיר, אל מקום טמא, והבא אל הבית, כל ימי הסגיר אותו, יטמא עד הערב. ויסחב בבית יכבס את בגדיו, והאוכל בבית יכבס את בגדיו.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורה ואמת וחיי עולם אתה בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, may the Holy One who blessed our forefathers and foremothers bless the four of you in honor of Torah, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of community, in honor of those that have come to Torah before you, but most particularly in honor of the young man over there who's going to be coming to Torah in a little while's time, and that which he is not only celebrating today, but that is which he is demonstrating today, which is the simple fact that he is growing up into an extraordinarily and lovely young man. As his cousins, you get to support him and celebrate with him as he does that. As his aunt and uncle, you get to nurture him and to inspire him, to encourage him, and to occasionally put him back in his place, which is all the pleasure of a family, and that's what you represent at the Bima today. As we move towards this celebration, this moment when he becomes a bar mitzvah, we begin with family, because that is the connection of a community. And we hope that God allows you as family to continue to celebrate together each other's milestones, to continue to support each other when you need to, but focus primarily on simcha and on celebration. We ask that God bless you, that God bless all those that are dear to you, and we say together, Amen.
Amen. Mazel tov. For the fifth Aliyah, we invite Jess to come to and Lane for us, and for the Aliyah, we invite Jack and Gilad to come to Torah. Ya'amdu Yaakov Shmuel ben Moshe Yehuda ve'Hul ve'Gila Chaya bat Aaron ve'Vromet 50 la'Aliyah laTorah. We are at verse 48 and onwards, which is on page 847, right-hand column, fifth line from the bottom, third word in. 847, right-hand column, fifth line from the bottom, fourth word in. We're just going to point to where we begin. Point to where you're starting. Baruch Adonai mevarach leolam va'ed.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שבת חסרנו מכל העמים ונתן לנו את תורתו ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
אמן.
ואם בו יבוא הכהן ברע והנה לא פסע הנגע בבית אחרי יטרח את הבית וטיהר הכהן את הבית כי נרפא הנגע ולקח לחיטה את הבית שתי ציפורים ואת ארז ושני תולעת ואצבעות ושיחת את הציפור אחת וכלי חרש על מים חיים ולקח את עץ הארז ואת האזור ואת שני התולעת ואת הציפור החיה וטבל אותם בדם הציפור השחוטה ובמים החיים והיזה אל הבית 7 פעמים.
חזק.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שנתן לנו תורה ואמת וחיי עולם נותן בתוכנו ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen. Shacharit, Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, may the Holy One who blessed our forefathers and foremothers also bless the two of you, Jack and Gila, in honor of Torah, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of family, but but most particularly in honor of this young man as he becomes bar mitzvah. I had the pleasure just then, as he was reading this aliyah on your behalf, to watch you, Jack, try your very best to keep up with the yard. As he was moving through the Hebrew, you wanted to follow along, but I'm sure that's not the first time you've tried to keep up with your grandchildren. And I'm sure it's not the last time you're going to want to keep up with your grandchildren. But I think that one of the things that both of you are experiencing with great joy and great celebration is it's becoming harder and harder to keep up with your grandchildren as they become more accomplished young adults. And it is, I'm sure, a difficult challenge, but such a pleasurable challenge. And our hope is that you get the opportunity to experience these pleasures of watching all of your grandchildren, particularly today, Jesse, take on challenges and milestones and achieve them in the way that they do today. Our hope is that you have continued strength and ability to do it on many, many more occasions. We ask that God bless you, that God bless all those that are dear to you. And we say together, Amen.
Amen. Mazel tov. For our sixth aliyah, Jesse will continue laning for us. And Torsten, we invite Torsten, Karen, Zach and Mitch to come to Torah. Ya'amdu Eban ben Israel veSharona, Rivka bat Yaakov Shmuel Halevi veAaron ben Eban veSharona Rivka veYoshua ben Eban veSharona Rivka. Shishim la'aliyah laTorah. We are at verse 52, which you will find on page 847, left-hand column, fourth line down, second word. So left-hand column, 847, fourth line down, second word. And we pointed to where we're beginning. Line. Yep. And the blessing before the verse. Baruch Adonai Mevarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Mevarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'chavanu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
וחיטה את הבית בדם הציפור ובמים החיים ובציפור החיה ובעץ הארץ ובאזוב ובשני התולעת ושילח את הציפור החיה אל מחוץ לעיר אל פני השדה וכיפר אל הבית וטהר זאת התורה לכל נגע הצרת ולנתק ולצרת הבגד ולבית ולשאת ולספחת ולפרט להורות ביום הטמא וביום הטהר זאת התורה הצרת.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. And once more we also say to the four of you, Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak Yaakov U'Benu Sarah Rivka Rachel Leah. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless you as a family in honor of Torah, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of a community, in honor of your little brother, in honor of your son, but most particularly in honor of the joy and the smiles that you have on your face right now as he becomes bar mitzvah. You are a remarkably supportive and encouraging family. It's not every Shabbat we see older brothers prepared to take things off their little brother's load to help him become bar mitzvah. It's also not every Shabbat that when older brothers take things off their load, the little brother turns to the rabbi and says, "Can you give me more to do, please? Because my brothers are taking all the good stuff." And that's allowed me to have a very quiet Shabbat so far this morning. But that's really been because you guys have worked and supported each other so much. And our hope is that as Jesse is about to become bar mitzvah, even though he's been leading the service and reading Torah for us, and he still hasn't yet accepted that call to Torah, that you'll be able to continue to support him as you do today in everything that he does. And you'll be able to continue to take nachas, shep nachas from his achievements. We ask that God bless you, that God bless all those that are dear to you, and we say together, V'nomar, Amen.
Amen and Mazel Tov. And so for our final aliyah, we invite our bar mitzvah, Yamod, 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 Yoel ben Eban veSharona veRivka, Nara bar mitzvah la'aliyah laTorah. Baruch Adonai Mevorach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Mevorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bacha Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah.
Amen. And as Jesse did mention earlier, the page number is 852, right-hand column, beginning of that column, first word.
וידבר אדוני אל משה ואל אהרון לאמור דברו אל בני ישראל ואמרתם עליהם איש איש כי יהיה זב מצרו זובו טמאו וזאת תהיה טומאתו בזובו ובשרו את זובו אוכלתים בשרו מזובו טומאתו היא כל המשכב אשר ישכב עליו הזהב יטמא וכל הכלי אשר ישב עליו יטמא ואיש אשר ייגע במשכבו יכבס בגדיו ורחץ פעמיים וטמא את הארץ. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת וחיי עולם נטע בתוכנו. ברוך אתה אדוני נותן התורה.
Amen.
Jesse, we say, Mishaberach Vatenu, Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov, Yimitenu, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, V'Leah. May the Holy One who blessed our forefathers and foremothers bless you. In honor of Torah, in honor of Shabbat, in honor of family, in honor of friends, and you've brought a few with you today. But most particularly in honor of that which you give yourself, the kavod, the keter, the crown of becoming a bar mitzvah, of accepting this aliyah l'Torah, this call to Torah. Some months ago when we sat in my office and I asked you why it is that you are becoming a bar mitzvah, you didn't give me the usual answer, which is because my mum and dad are telling me I have to. You said because I want to take on the challenge of being an adult. I like the idea of becoming an adult. I've seen what my brothers have done before me and I want to do it, and I'd like to lead as much of the service as possible. And I said, sure. And then you rolled up your sleeves and you worked. And you worked. And you worked. And the remarkable thing about the way you went about that work is you never lost a smile on your face. Sometimes you questioned whether you had worked hard enough or whether you were going to be able to do this, and trust me, you've been able to do this. But you kept that smile and that enthusiasm. And our hope and our prayer is that smile and that enthusiasm, that commitment to engage with your history, with your heritage, with your people, and with our purpose never ever leaves you. And so I'm going to ask your parents to come around behind you. I'm going to ask your brothers to join you because they've also been part of this. And we're going to offer a blessing as old as our people itself. It's a blessing which you know was first offered by Aaron to his sons and then from the priests to people. Just mess up his hair, go a little high. Like, there's some serious product in there. We offer it to you on the occasion of your bar mitzvah, knowing that it has guided you to this point, but hoping and praying that it continues to guide you through a life of blessing and a life of purpose.
Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May the brightness of our tradition shine down upon you and be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yatzem lecha shalom.
And Jesse, wherever it is that this blessing takes you, may continue to be filled with love and joy. I'm just getting out of your friend's aim. Love and joy, blessing, peace and purpose. But most of all, may it be a place of meaning. And to that we say, Ken Yehi Ratzon, may it be God's will, and we wish you Mazel Tov.
Yeah. As is our tradition, in the presence of Torah, we turn to page 371. 371. And think of those in our community in need of perhaps a prayer for healing.
Source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
This time we think of El Bentata, Eva Marks, Gabriel Batitza Kavora, Annette French, Henry Gladwin, Anita Meany, Sue Brown, Rona Zinger, Aviva Bentata, Lindsay Ettlinger, Margaret Cochran, Dina Bat Rachel, Bella McGid, Chana Bat Dora, Mel Wright, Gregory Mochkanovsky, Ludia Katsko, Marcia Moore, Morris Mark, George Shaw, Douglas Simon, Kevin Bell. There are other names that you would like to add to this list, people in your lives who you know could benefit with healing, with the refuat hashlema or refuat haguf, the healing of spirit or the healing of soul. I invite you to add their names as my eyes meet yours. Page 370, we rise as we give honor to the scroll.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
In a few moments, I'm going to be sharing the Haftarah that the rabbis chose for Shabbat Netzorah. Typically, a bar bat mitzvah student does not really speak about the Haftarah portion, choosing rather to focus on the parasha or Torah portion for the week. But I'm not typical. This week's Haftarah comes from the second book of Kings and is part history, part fable. It talks about 4 men with leprosy who were banished from their city because the people believed that their disease made them impure and a threat.
As it happens, the city was in a famine and had no food or water, and things were pretty bleak for all involved. To make things even worse, the city was also under siege from an invading Aramean army, so the lepers were essentially destined to either starve to death or be slaughtered on the front line of battle. Considering these options, they thought they were best to travel to the nearby Aramean camp and plead their case for food and water. As the story goes, they reached the camp the next morning and were surprised to find the camp abandoned. The 4 men went into a tent and ate and drank their fill. They then decided the right thing to do was to go back to the city that had banished them and tell the king that the nearby Aramaic camp was empty and that there was enough food for everyone. The king was scared that this was a trap, so he sent 2 men to look. When they returned, they affirmed the leper's story. So the people of the town went and got food and water from the camp and were saved from starvation. I believe that the reason why the rabbis chose this story to be a haftarah is to teach us some key morals. First, in this haftarah, we see the banished lepers end up saving the city, which shows us that we never know from where our help is going to come. When I shared this observation with Gersh, he explained to me that my idea was actually a really important Jewish value, a value that is even reflected in the midst of our Hallel prayer, which we read last week in Psalm 118. Even Masu Habonim Haita Lerosh Pinah, which translates to the stone that the builder rejected has become the chief cornerstone, reminding us to never discard anything before giving them or it a chance to become something useful or helpful. Second thing it teaches us is not to judge anyone, no matter race, culture, gender, disability, or really anything, and not to be prejudiced against anyone. While my haftarah was written thousands of years ago, the lessons it teaches us are still relevant in the world in which we live. I believe in this story that the lepers represent all kinds of minority groups, including people with illnesses, different races, or different religions. Only about 1 month ago, the whole world was exposed to some horrible news. I remember sitting on the couch at my grandparents' house just before Shabbat and turning on the news to hear about the shocking mass killing in Christchurch. How does this relate to my focus today? Well, let me explain. Just like the gatekeeper banished the lepers because he feared people with leprosy, the Christchurch terrorists believed that because some terrorist attacks had been performed by Muslims, that all Muslims should be feared and punished. This is terrifyingly similar to the story we all heard last year of the Pittsburgh shooting, which is believed to be one, or if not the worst attacks against Jews in America. This, like the shooting in Christchurch, shows us that there are people in our world who show prejudice and discrimination against Jews and other religions. Third, I would also like to focus on the fact that even though the people with leprosy were treated badly, they were able to rise above that and still help save the people of the city. They are the real heroes of the story. This teaches us that even though they were wrongly treated, they could still do the right thing, which is an important lesson I can take out of becoming bar mitzvah and implement into my life. To summarize, I believe the main message in my haftarah is that the problems related to discrimination and unfair treatment of minority groups, which were problems that occurred thousands of years ago, still appear today in our community. On reaching my bar mitzvah, I think it is my responsibility to try and stop this hatred and mistreatment. Making this change will not be easy, but I think that I can help by changing bad behaviour at school or around me. This might only be a small act, but if each of us take on a little bit more responsibility for making our world a little better, imagine the difference it will make. As I said at the beginning, I have learned many morals and new ways to act for my haftarah. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. The haftarah can be found on page 994 in the Plaut Chumash. It is the traditional haftarah for Mitzorah. Others may be expecting the haftarah for Shabbat Hagadol, but we'll be talking about that a little later.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar b'nviim tovim, v'ratzav v'divreihem hanemarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai, habocher b'Torah, u'b'Moshe avdo, u'v'Yisrael amo, u'v'nviei hamet b'tzedek. At the entrance of the gate were 4 men, all lepers. They said to one another, "Why should we sit here until we die? If we decide to go into the city, we will die of famine, and if we remain here, we will die as well." Better to desert to the Aramean camp. If they let us live, we live. If they put us to death, we will all be dead. At twilight they made their way toward the Aramean camp, which they reached. When they reached the edge of the camp, they found not a soul. The Eternal had caused the Arameans to hear the sounds of horses and chariots, the sounds of a large army. So they had thought the king of Israel must have paid the kings of the Hittites and the Egyptian to attack us. And they had run away at twilight, leaving their tents, their horses, their mules, everything in their camp. Just it was, they had fled for their lives. The lepers came to the edge of the camp, went into one tent and ate and drank. They carried off some silver, some gold and clothing, and went and hid it. Then they came back, entered another tent, took what they could find there, and hid it. They then said to one another, "We're not doing right. This is a red letter day, and we are keeping quiet about it. If we wait till daybreak, we will pay for it. We better go now and let the king's household know what has happened." They went and called to the gatekeepers of the city and told them that they had come to the Aramean camp and found no one there, not a single human voice, only tethered horses and mules and tents left as is. The gatekeepers called out, and the news was passed on into the inner court of the palace. The king rose up in the night and said to his officials, "I'll tell you what the Arameans are doing to us. They know that we're starving, so they've hidden in the field, saying, they will go out of the city, and then we can take them alive and march into the city." One of his officials answered, saying, "Let some of the remaining horses be taken. They are, like the remainder of the multitude of Israel that had perished. So let us send the horses and see." So they took 2 mounted riders, and the king sent them after the Aramean army, saying, "Go reconnoiter." They followed the Aramean trail as far as the river Jordan. All along the way there were clothes and weapons that the Arameans had thrown away in their haste. The scouts returned and told the king. Then the people went out and looted the Aramean camp. So it came about that a bushel of the best flour was sold for only a shekel, and 2 bushels of barley cost only a shekel, just like the Eternal had promised. Now the king had appointed the adjutant on whose arm he had leaned to be in charge of the gate, and the people there trampled him to death, just as the man of God had predicted. When the king had gone down to talk to him, for when the man of God had said to the king that at the same time the next day 2 bushels of barley would be sold for a shekel, and the bushel of the best flour would be sold for a shekel. This officer had said to the man of God, "Even if God made windows in the sky, would something like this happen?" And he had answered, "You'll see it happen, but you won't eat any of it." And that's what happened to him. The people trampled him to death in the gate. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, tzur kol ha'amim, tzadik bechol ha'dorot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer ve'oseh, ha'medaber u'mekayem, shekol devarav emet ve'tzedek. Al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al ha'nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh, shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu, likdusha ve'limnucha, lachvod u'tifaret, al ha'kol Adonai Eloheinu, אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך, יתברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת.
Shachar. We invite the Torah scroll to rise, the congregation to rise with it as we offer blessings now for our country and for the people and state of Israel. These blessings can be found in the prayer book on page 376 and 377. Our Bar Mitzvah has invited 2 of his friends to offer these blessings. We're going to begin first with the prayer for our country.
Let us bless our country of Australia and all its people. Let us have dreams in its historic land of dreamers. Let the hot winds from the desert fire our imagination. Let the red soil of our plains keep us rooted to the things that matter. Let the waters of our rivers, lakes, and oceans flow into our hearts, giving us depth and understanding. Let us remember those who have lived in this land before us and those who have made it their home in more recent times. Keep your eyes open to the beauty of this land. May we strive to keep this beauty present and strong. May we never be lazy in work for this peace. May we honor those who have died in defense for our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they lead with justice and compassion. Let our compassion be like the encompassing coastlines of our continent. May acceptance, kindness, and peace live steadily with this ancient and enduring land.
Amen. And before, Toby, you continue with the prayer for the people of the state of Israel, I'm going to use the opportunity to ask Sefi to come up and introduce him to the congregation. Sefi arrived yesterday. He's our new Netze Shaliach. He's slightly jet-lagged. Make sure every single one of you introduce yourself to him at Kiddush with his partner Sarah, joining us for a couple of years in our community. We thought it would be appropriate for you to offer the Hebrew for the prayer of the state of Israel. I think you'll continue with the English, correct?
Yep.
Great.
שאלו שלום ירושלים וישלב אהביך. אבינו שבשמיים צור ישראל וגואלו. ברך את מדינת ישראל, ראשית צמיחת גאולתנו. הגן עליה בעזרת חסדך ופרוס עליה סוכת שלומך. שלח רוחך רמתך לראשיה, שריה ויועציה. ותנם בעצה טובה מלפניך. ונתת שלום בארץ ושמחת עולם ליושביה. ונאמר אמן.
Amen. Sounds like Hebrew.
O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love, spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace and in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen.
Amen.
We turn back to page 374 as we return the scrolls to the ark.
יעלנו את שם אדוני, כי נשגב שמו לבדו. הודו על ארץ ושמיים, וירן קרן לאבו, והילה לכל חסידיו. טוב נתתי לכם תורתי אל תעזבו את חיים היא למחזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושר דרכיה דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיה שלום השיבנו אדוני
So there was a lot to discuss this week, and it's very tempting for a media and news junkie such as myself to want to speak about elections, whether they be whether they be elections here in Australia, or whether they be elections in Israel, and what we can make or should make of them, but I decided you're getting enough of that already.
This rabbi likes show and tell.
And everywhere we go at the moment, we have people talking to us about politics, the world, the state of the world, what we should do, what we shouldn't do, who is right, who is wrong, who's making things great, and who's really not making things great. And that whole idea resonated with me significantly because it is this week, this is the great Shabbat. This is Shabbat HaGadol, and as I said in my opening remarks, the rabbi's responsibility on Shabbat HaGadol is to inform the congregation of all the rites and rituals of Pesach in advance of Pesach so that you don't miss the opportunity to observe the holiday appropriately. Now, those of you that have done Pesach or done the Jewish calendar or Jewish holidays at all know that about 80% of our holidays can be summed up in a three-part phase. You know it well, don't you? They tried to kill us. We won. Let's eat. Correct. So that's about 80% of the Jewish calendar. They tried to kill us. We won, or some say we survived. Let's eat. So I thought that it would be appropriate that we have a bit of a cooking class to focus on Shabbat Gadol. And it happens that our bar mitzvah thinks of himself as a kind of a little junior master chef. I'll let you put that on yourself. Because, honestly, we joke, but food is significant. Food is a significant vehicle for teaching Jewish values, Jewish meaning, Jewish purpose, and Jewish history. And this festival of Pesach, which we are about to begin next week, is pretty much the most foodie of all of the Jewish festivals. But it's not foodie for no reason. It's not foodie because matzah balls are great, and it really doesn't matter whether you think your matzah balls should float or whether you think your matzah balls should sink. That's not a significant Jewish question. What is a significant Jewish question, and something we need to explore with only a week before Pesach, is why do we eat matzah balls? What is the point? Why is this night different from all other nights? And so we are going to recap the story. What is it that you are wearing? You are wearing a matzah apron. That is, see? Couldn't tell, matzah apron. So, why is it that we eat matzah?
Because when the Jews were getting out of Egypt, they didn't have enough time for the bread to rise.
It's a very good answer. They didn't have enough time for the bread to rise. But let's recap. So, the Jews were in Egypt. So the Jews were in Egypt. And 10 times that... No, stay, you don't pick it up. It's a non-talking part. Okay? So the Jews were in Egypt, and 10 times Pharaoh had said, let my people go. 10 times Moses had said, let my people go, and only after the 10th time did they leave. They were really nervous that Pharaoh was going to change his mind again. Okay, he had a reputation for a short temper. Okay? And they were really nervous, so they grabbed what they could carry, and they ran. Okay? They grabbed their water bottles because they knew they were going into the desert. You can open that and test, is that water? What does it say on the side?
Water.
Okay? And then they decided that they were going to have to eat something as well. But they looked around and there were no sandwiches. So what did they grab? Flour. They grabbed water and flour and they ran as far as they could come from Pharaoh. And they kept running. But Pharaoh did what Pharaoh does. Pharaoh changed his mind. And so Pharaoh sent the armies after them. And so they kept running. Eventually they got thirsty. They opened up the bottle. They had a sip of water. No one's going to believe me it's really water. Okay? It's water. They got really thirsty and they kept running. But then they looked back and Pharaoh's armies were still behind them. And they started getting hungry. And the kids started asking. Thank you. You were there. You were there. The kids started asking, are we there yet? And just as the one child started asking, are we there yet? The other one said, I'm hungry. I'm hungry. And so, out of their kit bag, they pulled and gave flour and said, eat this. Why? Why not? You know what? Our bar mitzvah is not that different from our sainted ancestors who escaped Egypt. Their parents gave them flour because that's all they had, and they didn't want to eat it. And so the parents had to think on their feet. So they took the flour. Let's put dirt there. They took the flour, and they poured it out in front of them. And they put a little well in the middle, and they put some water into their flour. They did. They did. They said, if they're not going to eat flour, maybe I'll get them to eat dough. Okay? And they turned that flour into some dough really, really quickly, just by pinching them like that. See? That's dough. That's dough. That's working. Yeah. Looking appetizing, isn't it? Really appetizing. Now the stress is, while the parents were making dough, they looked over their shoulders, and you know what they saw over there? Pharaoh's army coming. Exactly. They saw Pharaoh's army coming, and they were like, okay, fabulous, because look what I've got right now. Right now, Right now, I've got some dough. The kid wouldn't need flour. Okay, we have to keep going. We can't slow down. We're not going to pull through the Macca's drive-thru or anything. Okay, we've got to keep going. Yeah, eat this. Why not? You don't think it's a good shape to eat, so you prefer that I cook this. Okay, so I cook this. So I'll leave it out there in the sun, and it'll cook. Problem. Pharaoh's army's coming. So we need to get this to cook quicker. How am I going to get this to cook quicker? I couldn't put it on something hot, but it's not going to cook quickly like that. Just a ball of dough on something hot. Got to make it flatter. Thankfully, your water bottle actually doubles as a rolling pin. Pharaoh's army's coming. That's going to take hours to cook. Put some effort into it. You're not going to break anything. Yeah, I'll add some more flour. Okay, come on. Roll it out. Yeah, you're doing beautifully. Okay, it's great. Now, we got this really thin thing. It looks a lot more appetizing than the dough I tried to feed you before. Just trying to get a little bit more. But you know what? That is not... I'm going to stick it on. I'm going to cook it. So I'm going to put it on a hot rock. This happens to be a hot rock we just had lying there. See, the problem is that's not going to cook fast enough, and Pharaoh is getting closer. So when you left Egypt, you took what? You took water, you took flour, but you're a pretty, proud man about your appearance too. Like you spent some time in your hair this morning. You did spend some time in your hair this morning, didn't you? Yes. Is there a chance that just before you left Egypt, you might have grabbed a comb on the way out? Did the comb look like this? Yes. Or did it look like this? Sure? Yes. Okay. So, we want to make it cook faster, so we're putting some dots in there using the comb that you had just before you left Egypt.
You kind of hope he doesn't have lice or anything, adds flavour.
It's all good. Now, my friend, that, believe it or not, is exactly how our ancestors made matzah. Because it had a specific purpose. It had a purpose of reminding us that they left Egypt in a hurry. And we eat matzah for no other reason than to tell that story. And if you go to a Seder this week, or the week after, or whenever you choose to do a Seder or observe a Seder, and you don't stop and actually tell that story, then there's no point you eating the tasty cracker. The food hasn't fulfilled its objective. But matzah is only one part of it. Matzah is about our story from slavery into freedom. But the other major part about the Pesach story is actually remembering what it was to be a slave, something which you and I have no idea what it was like. And that takes us to my other favorite food, the thing I like to put on the matzah. So, it so happens that what did the Israelites do when they were slaves to Pharaoh in Egypt? What did they do? Correct. And how did they make those cities? Yeah, they built bricks. And bricks were built with certain things. One of them being? Egyptian straw. Okay, it might look to you like apples, but it's actually Egyptian straw. And could you just do me a quick favor? Could you make that look like Egyptian straw? You start that side, I'll do this side. You told me you were such a good cook. Like, you look so... like, you totally oversold this. Look, see that? That, my friend, is Egyptian straw. This is what they went out along the Nile to collect Egyptian straw in order to make bricks. You know what else they did with Egyptian straw? How they turned those into bricks? Because you can't just use straw. Let me borrow that for a second. Thanks. So they can't just use straw. What else do you need to make bricks? Bit of liquid? Nile water. How do we know this is Nile water? What was the first plague? Blood in the water. So we know that red water must be Nile water. So a little bit of Nile water. Great? Okay, but straw and water just makes mud. You need something that will hold it together. So you know what we need? Some rocks. Some Egyptian rocks. Oops. Some Egyptian rocks. Yeah, that's good. And because rocks can be a bit chunky, what's this? Egyptian sand, not just regular sand. Sinai sand, exactly, Sinai sand. Sinai sand is important as well. So a little bit of Sinai sand. Yeah, mix that up. How many of you have eaten charoset? Charoset can be made in 1,000 different ways. It can take 4 days to marinate and cure, or it can be made in 3 minutes. Here I've just mixed apples, cinnamon, walnuts, carrot, and a little bit of grape juice. No, sorry. Okay. Good to see you listening. Charoset is just food unless you tell the story. Unless you stop to say, this purpose of this food is to remind us that our ancestors were slaves to Pharaoh in Egypt and they had to work hard. Their lives were embittered through slavery. That is handmade matzah. There are 50. It's not bad. It's actually. What? Probably doing a bit more soon. Huh? No, I think you might have got a bar. I think I can do it a bit more soon. My friends, my point is this. I'm not trying to be comedic, although I'd have a happen occasion of being that. This is Shabbat HaGadol, the first year of rabbinical school. Enjoy yourself. Thank you. The first year of rabbinical school, I was told that the purpose of Shabbat HaGadol is to inspire the congregation and the community to re-engage with the Pesach story. As a rabbi, I don't mind, nor do I particularly care, and I know that's a large, loaded term, whether you go to a Seder that begins at Kadesh and goes Hallel Nitzah. I don't mind if you start at page 1 in the Haggadah and go all the way to the end, or you do it your way. But I can tell you that you have not fulfilled the purpose and meaning of Pesach if you aren't able to bring the story to life. If you aren't reminded that in our people's memory, in our story, in our dreaming, we were slaves to Pharaoh in Egypt and we were forced to make bricks and build cities and do other people's will. And that we fled under great haste, against all odds, without the things that we needed to create a civilization, and from flat bread, cooked in less than 18 minutes, containing nothing but flour and water, we created a great nation with extraordinary values. If you can do those two things over the 7 or 8 days of Pesach, then you have truly fulfilled the mitzvah of what it means to observe this holiday. I want to wish each and every one of you a chag kasher v'sameach, a kosher, meaningful, and redemptive-filled Pesach. And I want to thank our bar mitzvah Val B'Nikuk. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Master Chef has nothing on TBI. Our kitchen rules. So we're going to return to our concluding prayers. We're on page 586. We rise and Ty will open the ark for us. Page 586. Please rise.
Aleinu leshameach לעלות הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם בגורלנו ככל עמונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, הקדוש ברוך הוא. יולדת ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We remain standing for a few more moments as we turn to page 598. 598 for the words of Kaddish Yatom. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. This Shabbat we think of those in the period of Shiva. We think of John Kirstner and Joyce Watson. And in the period of Shloshim we think of Marie Davis, of Benjamin Earl, of Sue Friedman, Devorah Marks, Miriam Menachem, Peter Orloff and Kara Kittner. And we mourn the loss of the lives so senselessly taken in the Christchurch shooting. And we think of the yahrzeits that fall on this Shabbat. We think of Sam Bando, Hilda Bruce, Julia Davy, Leah Eisenberg, Gabora Feldheim, Margit Feldheim, Leonard Fox, Julie Frey, Erwin Friedlander, Gemma Fulgraf, Bernard Goldman, Herta Hurling, Edith Jelinek, Norman Klings, Frank Kranz, Aranka Lustig, Zidonia Lustig, Isidore Meisner, Mirek Morley, Marcus Schlen, Nathan Schwartz, Jeannie Siegel, Michael Siegel, Ben Selby, Ralph Spivak, Hyman Whitner, and Israel Zimmerman. If there are other names or if I've mispronounced a name, please call them out or hold them dear in your hearts. Zichronam livracha, may their memories truly be for a blessing, as we join together in the words of Kaddish Yatom on page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, v'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'vyomechon, v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabba mevorach leolam ulal almaya, yitparach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו. לילה מן קל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, סאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all of Israel and to all of humanity. And we say, Amen. Please be seated as our President, Rebecca Silk, shares a few announcements from the Board of Governors.
Thank you, Cantor Lalum, and thank you, Ari and Joel, for your liturgy. And a very warm welcome this morning to Temple Beth Israel from our board. Welcome to the Weller and Leader families and the family and friends of Jessie. Mazel Tov, Tom and Jenny, on your anniversary. Happy birthday, Jenny and Elliot, and hearty congratulations, Sharon, on your Australian honour. And welcome everyone, whether you are here to pray in community, to remember a loved one. Special welcome to our visitors, and welcome Sephi and Sarah to Australia. Jessie, come and join me. Mazel Tov, Jessie. What a superb job you did leading the service. And you got your wish to do lots of readings, and your laning was a joy to listen to. You followed in the footsteps of your brothers, Zach and Mitch, as we've heard, and we could see that the three of you really worked together as a team. Your parents and your grandparents were married here, and we're thrilled that your family has found a home here at TVI. You've told me you've enjoyed your preparation with Rabbi Gersh and with your tutor Elon, and the best thing about the whole journey was that final lesson, when you knew that you had done the very best that you could and you were ready. So to introduce you to the congregation, you go to Bialik. You're in year 8. Welcome to all your friends from school. And you enjoy your subjects, especially English and maths, and you really enjoy your sport. You enjoy your tennis and basketball, and you've played cricket for Maccabi, and your team won a grand final recently. And you've got lots of friends there and in your sporting life, and you're a very energetic person who's fun to be around. In your drash, you talked about caring about people from minority groups and not discriminating, and doing the best each of us can to improve the situations of people in those groups. And people who know you say that you're very caring and very compassionate, and you have a confidence and maturity beyond your years. You told me you want to follow a profession like medicine, which I hear runs in your family, and that's because you want to help others. And I'm sure that whatever you do, the world will be a better place for it. So I welcome you as our newest member, and we wish you all the best on your journey in adult life. And we have for you a certificate of bar mitzvah, and that proves that it really did happen. And we have a few other gifts for you. We have a book on our beautiful stained glass windows. We have a voucher for the next Netzer camp, and your membership of the Union for Progressive Judaism as well. And we have a gift for you, a Kiddush cup, which maybe you might like to take to your grandparents on Friday nights. Mazel tov. Thank you. A few announcements. As we know, Pesach is coming, and this week we will be launching at TBI our annual fundraising appeal, our Pesach appeal. So we'll be asking you to support us generously and help us with programs like our Sederim, our Tamid program, and our family festivals. We also need help with our phone-a-thon. We phone people once a year at this time. It's on April the 28th. Please do speak to a board member if you're able to help us. Tomorrow, there's a lot of things happening. Our Dignity group is delighted to invite you to a Shalom lunch and film event. Come along to the Friedlander and join with family and friends from diverse backgrounds and watch the film Satellite Boy. Then our own film club in the evening will be screening the seminal film Bella. That's 6:30 for popcorn and 7 o'clock for the film. Also on that day, the Impact program is having a packing day at the Glen Ira College Sports Hall where they welcome anyone who would like to help with that activity. So that's on Sunday from 10 till 12. On Tuesday of next week, our younger members, TBI members in their 20s and 30s, will be having a yeast feast. That's our group known as Next Door, and they will be preparing for pizza with a feast of pizza and beer. Preparing for Pesach, thank you, at 6:30. More details on their Facebook page. I would like to thank our Shamashim today, Jackie, Dot and Laurie, and I'd like to thank our laners, Cantor Lulum, Hermie, Zach and Jessie. After our final song, please join us for Kiddush in the Sloan Hall behind me, which is kindly sponsored by Jessie's family. And do please thank our security volunteers on your way home. Shabbat Shalom.
Before we arrive at our final song, I will add one additional invitation. We recognise that Pesach begins next Friday, which happens also to be a good day. And we know that a good many of you will be with family and friends celebrating Seder next Friday evening. We anticipate that our congregation might be a little lighter than usual. But we do want to encourage you, if you haven't been regular viewers of TBI TV, from 6 o'clock, Rabbi Edlinger, Ari, myself, and Cantor Lulum will be leading a very brief but very song-filled entry into Shabbat and into Pesach. And you might want to just have it in the background at your family savers. We'd love to be able to join with you. But for now, let's finish our Shabbat morning with the words of Adon Olam on page 625, 625.
Aron Olam asher malav beter kol yetzin nibra Aron Olam להתנשא בחפצו כל עדיין מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם אשר מלך בטרם כל יצין נברא להתנשא בחפצו כל אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם, ואחרי ככלות הכל, לבדו ימלוך נורא אדון עולם, והוא היה, והוא הווה, והוא יהיה ותתברא אדון עולם, אדון עולם, אשר מלך בטרם כל, יציר נברא ונעשה בחפץ כל. אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם, והוא אחד ואין שני, להמשילו להכבירה אדון עולם, בלי ראשית בלי תכלית, ולא העוד והמזרע אדון עולם, אדון עולם, אשר מלך בטרם כל, יציר נברא ונעשה בחפץ כל. אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם, והוא אלי וחי גואלי, וצור חבלי וצרה ארון עולם, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנצותי ביום מקרא ארון עולם, אדון עולם, אשר מלך בטרם כל, יציר נברא ונעשה בחפץ כל. אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם, בידו הכין רוחי, ואין תשעת וירא ארון עולם, ועם רוחי גבייתי, ארון לי ולא ירא ארון עולם, אדון עולם, אשר מלך בטרם כל, יציר נברא ונעשה בחפץ כל. אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם.
Shabbat Shalom. If you'll join us, we'll begin with Kiddush in the Sloam Hall.
Please make your way into Sloam Hall. As you come on in, the lighter is grape juice, the darker is wine. We'll make Kiddush in just a moment or two.
If you'll join us, we'll begin with the words of Veshamru and the Kiddush. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, כי 6 ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת וינבש, על כן ברך את יום השבת ויקדשהו.
Therefore God blessed the 7th day and declared it holy.
סברי מרנן, ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן לחיים.
Chaim tovim.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המוציא לחם מן הארץ. אמן.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom and בתיאבון. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat